Hello again. Hello and welcome back to another Jeremy Knows. It's the time of the night where we talk about our friends. We got VeeFriends news. Welcome back again, my friends. VeeFriends news. What do you know? It's Monday night. The air is right for VeeFriends news. I'd like you to know about the news today. We got new friends coming our way. VeeFriends news. VeeFriends news. Good morning and welcome back. So I think good evening, my friends. I'm dual streaming. We're Instagram here, we're Twitch here, and YouTube. Thank you for watching this replay. Thank you for being here, Paul, Lola, Andy, Drew, Tyler, Josh, Dave. I wish you would. Everybody, good evening. You can hear my voice is a little raspy. I'll get into that. I'm just looking for my podcast tool. I might have closed it. That's fine. We'll just open a new window. So here's the thing. I don't know yet how I'm going to tell you this story. It's been a while since we just did a Wild Ride podcast where I took the entire live stream and just put it out. But today calls for such a, I don't know the word, just a playful podcast. VeeFriends News. Coming to you live from the Jeremy Knows podcast, reporting all the latest in VeeFriends. Your host, Jeremy, the Heart Trooper number 7, with a... What a breakdown. What a day. I feel like I need to provide you a little bit of context. I know this isn't the type of intro you're used to. It's 2 a.m. in New York City, and I am so humbled to be your VeeFriends reporter. I want to sort of set the stage for you a little bit so you and I can go on this journey together. I am no longer drunk, but I was previously drunk. I've had a phenomenal day, and I'm just so glad to share with you the happiness. I don't mean to be an acolyte. It's ironic. I wasn't even following Gary Vee before VeeFriends came around, and yet this project has changed my life, and it has so much more to do with you, the 21 of you here with me on Instagram, and the 3 people on Twitch, and the 100 people who will listen to this podcast. It was such a wonderful time this last week doing Twitter Spaces every day, but specifically such a celebration on Twitter. I want to come to the point. I want to give you like the TLDR quick enough in this podcast within the first 10 minutes. So if you want to go on with the rest of your day, by all means, go and do that. But today for me was much more than this announcement. I had a phenomenal book games revelation that I'm looking forward to sharing. And I just want to express my joy and my happiness and my gratitude for the 3 hours of the Twitter Spaces today, and give it a little providence for you to possibly listen to it. Re-listening to a Twitter Spaces is not the most spectacular thing to be doing with your time, but just a lot of beautiful stories and a lot of deep connection sort of coming forward. And there's an element, like I don't know what the metaphor is. I don't know how to tell this story yet. And that's why this podcast is going to be a little sloppy. But whether it's like the seed is sprouting or like the tide is shifting or whatever sort of force of nature you want to project onto the trajectory of VeeFriends, what we saw today in the sneak peek preview of Series 2, whether you're fired up about the art or not, it's such a clear indication, to me at least, of how layered and complex a archetypal monolithic character such as attribute animal can be. So I'm very excited to share with you the news of the announcement, but there's a lot of angles on this, right? We want to know how to play book games. We want to know what's coming with Series 2 and how to prepare. And the market is moving and there's all these other factors. So I want to do my best to communicate and for you to understand that, but it just was really important to me. Like, we went so deep in the Twitter space. I guess that's my point. So with all that being out of the way, welcome back to the show. My name is Jeremy, the Heart Trooper number 7, and this is going to be a recap of today's happy announcement. I'm just going to call it the happy announcement because you'll remember that on Saturday, Gary put the final pieces together to confirm 3 announcements for this week. The first was the long-awaited utility of Series 1 tokens as it relates to the Series 2 collection. Tomorrow, in about 12 hours, time is still TBA. I actually have some messages in the Discord from Gary to catch up on. So I don't know if there's any details about Tuesday yet. I'll get you at the end of the podcast. There's going to be a physical offering USD auction-based event. We'll see what that is. And then Thursday, the VCon sale. So we got this announcement today. And for me, it did not disappoint. It really was that bold step in the IP that I think a lot of us were wanting. Spectacular holders who made a conviction play on Gary V, whether at 3 ETH or at 50 ETH over the last 6 months, felt truly taken care of. And I think we're seeing the first indication of game, story, conflict, movies, cartoons, video games, toys, merch. It's so much easier to imagine with the images that we got today. And so this is a podcast, so I can't show you them, but I'm going to describe them for you. I'm going to give you every detail, I promise, in the first 10 minutes. So I've got 4 minutes to give you the details of this announcement, and here it is. Series 2, as you know, is a collection of 55,555 NFTs that expand the VeeFriends universe, releasing in April. Quick TLDR on how to mint it. It's $1,000 in Ethereum. It's a layer 1 collection. The public mint will be mid to late April. There may be some considerable gas competition, but there is a confirmed 10,000 tokens reserved for the public sale. If you don't want to participate in that gas war, you can get onto the friends list by being a holder of book game tokens. Every book game token gives you that 26% shot. For every coin flip of 1 in 4 that you get, you can mint one of these tokens. But we didn't know much about that collection outside of the mint price and the rough timeline. In the last week, it was revealed to us that Series 1 holders would have quote-unquote access to the most important NFT in the entire series. And not yet knowing the details of what this important NFT in Series 2 is, we're getting an indication of how it will play into the character development. So we know that this important element of Series 2 is now the evolved pose, which is fun to remember. Like for people who have been following VeeFriends for a long time, the idea of evolving the VeeFriends is actually several months old. I think maybe Gary mentioned it in June or July. So the evolved pose, it's actually evolving pose. Interesting active verb. This idea of pose has been revealed to be a rarity element in Series 2, such that between the character, the pose, and the background of this artwork, every single one of the 55,555 tokens in Series 2 is a true one of one. So sort of the pattern that we're used to of PFP projects and NFTs providing unique ownership of an artwork is now coming to fruition in VeeFriends Series 2. I'll read you from the article. Another exciting development is that all NFTs in VeeFriends Series 2 will be true one of one with a combination of different characters, poses, and backgrounds making up the complete token artwork. Now, I haven't done the factorial math yet to reverse engineer how many poses and backgrounds would be required to allow for 55,000 unique combinations, but it seems that about a dozen poses and backgrounds, or maybe there's 5 poses and like 24 backgrounds. Not sure about that math yet. But the article itself, which you can see on VeeFriends.com and I'll link in the podcast notes, is actually very pretty. And right in front, you see huge alpha on VeeFriends Series 2, with beneath the title, the image of the Series 2 gift goat. On the bottom corners, the image of the arbitraging admiral and the be the bigger person in separate poses, one in the competitive pose and another in the classic pose. In the top left corner is the evolving pose for the accountable ant. And in the top right corner is the bubblegum variety of the legendary lemur. So let me catch you up a bit. Every single VeeFriend character, exactly 10,255 tokens of Series 2, is reserved for Series 1 holders to mint. They are the only ones who can initially own these evolving poses. The character that you mint will be the Series 2 iteration of the character you already hold. If you hold a core, rare, very rare, or epic of any Series 1 character, you will get to mint a Series 2 version of it in the evolving pose with a randomized background. Okay? Stick with me here. Only Series 1 will be able to mint this evolving pose, and no one in the general or pre-sale will be able to mint a pose that is this evolving. The actual preview of it shows the accountable ant leaping out of the card, that epic accountable ant in a sort of rose garden background. So it may be that the VeeFriends 1 art actually features in this artwork, making the hype announcement that VeeFriends Series 1 are actually 4 NFTs, now 5 NFTs. This is a free claim plus gas in April. Furthermore, there are some special criteria regarding which characters are appearing in Series 2. So I told you 10,255 are reserved for VeeFriends to claim before December 1st. Any tokens not claimed before December 1st will go to a special VeeFriends wallet. They will still be minted, but they will be minted out by the team. That said, of the 10,255, 9,400, which is the supply of admission characters, the 235 characters of which there are 40 Series 1 tokens, are, as I said, if you have a hardworking wombat, you mint a V2 hardworking wombat in the evolving pose. If you have a heart trooper, you will mint the heart trooper. If you have a last class standing, you will mint the last class standing. If you hold one of the 55 gift goats, you will mint the gift goat in one of 2 poses based on the token ID of your gift goat, either odd or even. There are 300 tokens in the Series 1 collection, which comprise the one-on-one and the group access tokens, which are retired into Series 1. The FaceTime 5, Flea, Fox, Frog, etc., the Dinner Deer, Lunch Ladybug, Breakfast Bat, Brunch Bear, the Mentor Mongoose, the Super Sunfish, the Uno Unicorn. These access tokens no longer exist in NFT form outside of the original Series 1. Instead, access tokens will still be able to mint an evolving pose Series 2, but they will get a random distribution of one of the existing 236 characters. That's 235 characters plus the gift code. Now, that's very exciting. I haven't done the math. There's going to be something peculiar here because there are 300 access tokens, but 236 characters. So these 300 tokens, they can't be evenly distributed across the characters. There's going to be some characters that have 41 and some that have 42, I imagine. But some of this is still in mystery. And the part that really comes to mystery is the spectaculars. We got a huge reveal. This announcement, if you've been following it, was hyped to be a big moment for spectaculars where it's an added benefit for them. And they get a one-of-one within the Series 2. Now, that may not sound so impressive when all of the 55,000 tokens are one-of-one, but you'll see the example in the article shows the character. The example is a legendary lemur with a finish, a body that is bubblegum. And so if you have the gold or the hollow or the lava or the bubblegum of any of the Series 1 characters, you will not mint an evolving pose, but you will mint one of the other poses from the general mint, but the finish of your character will be unique. So Spectacular's winning big here by already owning a one-of-one from Series 1 and getting a highly exclusive one-of-one in Series 2. The left to be revealed is the announcement of a new Spectacular addition to Series 2. More details on how to mint the new Spectacular Edition will be announced in the coming weeks, says the blog. Similar to Series 1, these Spectaculars are the rarest of the collection from a collector's perspective. Additionally, Spectacular holders will be elated to hear there is another surprise for them on claim day. More details to come. So beyond the reveal of this one-of-one mint for Spectaculars and all VeeFriend 1 holders for free, plus gas, we also have the notion of a new spectacular category and a secondary reveal that benefits spectacular holders. I thought about this a little bit. I don't know where this new spectacular finish is going to go, but I wonder if the finish of it will be green. I wonder if it's going to be aligned with Epic and Emerald and the Jets in some way. Otherwise, it could go in any direction. And that is the announcement that we got today. It took me 16 minutes, but I appreciate you listening in. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper and see what sort of gems we can mine from this moment together. Thank you as always for listening. For like the technical aspects of claiming and all the rest, or if you're looking to buy a Series 1 and to know whether or not the token has been claimed, all of that will have a centralized server update lookup on the VeeFriends website. It says they'll have a token ID checker, sort of similar to how you'll see your mints for Series 2. Again, I'll leave the link to the blog in the podcast. Wow. I suppose there's going to be plenty of time to speculate on where this is going, but I just think we should take a moment to recognize the terms of rarity that they presented us so far. You know, yesterday, Gary said that something to the effect of like, rarity is a thing of the past. Can't necessarily quote him. And I believe what he was suggesting was that all of these tokens are now one-of-ones. So we have the character, the pose, and the rarity. The examples of poses that they've shared so far are the competitive pose and the classic pose. So my big question is, how many poses are there? How many backgrounds are there? Right now we've seen the icy ice cave and the happy hill, already giving personification, attributes, and personality to backgrounds, which are also going to play into how these characters interact and tell their story. Super, super interesting, at least to me, as a storyteller. The other thing I wanted to put forward about this is, it's escaping me. It's getting a little late. Let me give a pause here, check in with the live crowd, and we'll come back to talk about the state of book games. And oh my God, I actually have a secret now. I made a trade that is in works that I actually can't tell you. But I'm telling you now because I hope to tell you later. Because if this trade goes, book games, so underestimated. All right, I'll be right back. I really blew out my voice at that event. We're evolving. What's up, Train? Thanks for being here. 6 folks on Twitch. Let me check everybody's comments. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Hey, Jacob. I'm glad you were super happy, man. Yeah, Series 1 is special. What about the lemur? Accept access tokens? Yes. They get, yeah, but yes. Yep. Oh, man, I really want to mint my old VeeFriend. Oh, man. Maybe on secondary. Gary mentioned burning 55 book games for new 15 character specs. Is this a joke? Seems like a massive ask. Oh, really? I guess this is the moment where I check the Discord. I haven't checked Gary's messages since 4 or 6 this afternoon. How much has he said? Oh, 1 page and 2 pages and 3 pages and 4 pages and 5 pages. 4.5 pages of messages that I haven't caught up on. Oh boy. Gabby, I'm not sure that's a joke. Yeah, Josh, you're right. But if he said you have to burn 55 for the new spec and this new spec hasn't been revealed yet, there's a chance that he's not joking. The distribution of Series 2 is 10K for Series 1, 10K for General, and 30K for Friends List. Yes, that's correct. The only thing you're forgetting is 3,300 for the new characters. So if I have an epic of character X, do I get a V2 of that character, or that's only for specs? Yes, you get a V2 of that character. The specs get an extra special thing. Thank you for answering the questions, Josh. I'm thinking at least 20 backgrounds to cover the 20 editions of Series 1 cores. That's an interesting thought. Makes sense. Welcome from Texas, Maurice. Glad to have you here. What's your thoughts on that Sega ending? I know your comment about the video games is spot on. He said perhaps 55. He was just throwing things out there. Yeah, 55 is a big ask, but I wouldn't put it past him either. I have 1 Lava Tenacity Marble. What are your thoughts? I think it's a great token. I would hold on to it if you can. It's a Lava Tenacity. It's good. If you want to play, if you really want to play the game right now, you could get 4 more marble tokens, but it's a reasonable investment at this point. So depends. I guess I'm going to look through these comments. Let me do this. Hey podcast, I'm back. So I'm checking in, and it seems that since I followed Gary's messages at 6 p.m. this evening, he's now left 3.5 pages of replies, and I'm just going to go ahead and go through it with you. So we have Gary here posting links to Series 1 characters listed, rares, very rares, etc., saying massive mistake over twice now. He posted the Hungry Hammerhead and said still some secrets left. That's interesting. I'll have to give a look at that later on. He comes in. How's the vibes? You were busy all day. He says, please get a Series 2. They will be underestimated, and I have massive plans for the first series that created the modern quote unquote look, which we heard from Gary that this is going to reveal to show sort of the feel and the direction of uh, VeeFriends. New character teasers were hand drawn. Do they have evolutions too? Oh wow. Well, there's one of our questions answered. With the majority, the 52,000 of the collection being this more cartoon-like animated version, where does that leave the new characters who are in the style of Series 1? And Stormblast asked if they have evolutions as well, and Gary said, yup, but they never went through the process, but they've been Series 2'd. Interesting. Yep, but they never went through the process. They've been Series 2'd. So perhaps these new characters don't actually exist in Series 1 form in that style of Series 1, but the 220 of them are all Series 2, leaving the physical artwork to be clamped and sealed but not exist in NFT form. Just sort of reacting in the moment. Gary then tweeted and shared in the Discord, you thought it was 4-year-old sketches. I thought it was 44 years of developing a world and a top 10 intellectual property. I'll see you in 2049. Obviously, very bullish on the display today that I do think many, if not most, I think most, if not nearly all, were very happy with. Credit to Gary for getting tons of praise for something that most people actually already expected. I do think he over delivered on the expectation of give the Series 1 holders a Series 2, but it is fun to see him sort of like flip the narrative in that regard and tease out what many were expecting and then get lauded for doing what was expected and what is kind of the norm within the space. That's super fun. He posted a picture of the sneak peek of the arbitraging Admiral, said, wait till you all here get how cool the icy ice cave is. Like I said, all of these backgrounds are characters into themselves, and that's going to be an interesting thing to be revealed. Alex D says, can we get Evolve through the friends list, or is it only specs? And the answer should be only Series 1. He says, I believe it was already mentioned, but I was just buying book games and my head is spinning, to which Gary says, only Series 1 gets Evolving. You cannot get it in the mints, as I told you. A little replies here and there. Do the goats get Evolving, or what's the go there? Gary says goats are slightly different, special, and you'll see. And that makes sense considering they have 2 poses that they get, which is determined by their token ID. Again, asked about the special utility for Pony and Koala that will come out years from now, not 8 weeks from launch. He says patience is a big issue in this community. Again, Gary has reiterated, I imagine this sticks in his mind, that the thing that he's teaching more than anything through his NFTs is patience, and says Series 1 and book games are wildly misunderstood right now. Here's a fun one, very nicely confirming it looks. Gary V, I have 5 neon frames, hoping that will produce a spec character. And he says a new character, question mark, from Series 2. It does not look like this future announcement of how to earn a spec character within the Series 2. I don't think that's going to be the same as the 5 frame minimum that we've been hearing. Gary says, I'm sorry, PB 2021 says, would you burn 5 champagne frames for the character? He said it depends. Interesting. The biggest question going here is what will it take to burn to get the spectaculars of the new 15 characters exactly? Those 75 NFTs will be tippy top big. Imagine Lava Red Devil. Okay. Interesting. Remember, this is all new information to me. So if there's a Lava Red Devil, that seems to suggest there's a gold, a bubblegum, a hollow, a diamond, and this 6th spectacular. And again, 5 frames. It may turn out that our early theory of 5 for the core, 10 for the rare, 15, and sort of going up the rarity scale with more tokens, there may be a blend of what we know with 5 matching frames and that idea of ponying up 25 frames for spectacular. And what's nice is he's confirming there's 75 of them. Definitely some math to do later on. Fig asks for them to tell, and he says rare frames matter. I didn't make a move on emerald frames today. I hope it didn't move on me too much. Gary says ponies burring for alpha alligator in diamond 1/1 form. That's an idea. Okay, this is a deep cut. Ponies burring for alpha alligator in diamond 1/1 form. Okay. So it may be that the paper hands pony also exists in series 2, perhaps. Burring for alpha alligator. This is a little confusing. It kind of seems like these 15 characters are not going to be version 1 art style, but version 2 art style. Again, the 75 spectaculars, this is Gary. The 75 spectaculars 1/1 of the new 15 characters will be the most insane burn of book games ever. Will it be any 55 tokens get you X? Or will champagne have its toasts? No one knows. God damn it. I was on to it again. If you didn't catch that, they're determining the burning requirements for this. There are different layers of it. Seems 5. Now, here's the thing. If 5 is only for core and there are all these rarities, then it's a little misleading to just say 5 and say that 220 people can get it before you, because presumably the common would only be like half of that supply, and he should have said 110 people can get it before you. So I wonder if there is some rarity to this. But of each of the 15 new characters, there are 6 that are the spectaculars of the like that VeeFriend 1 spectaculars get to mint, that require extra requirements and extra rare tokens in order to claim. I actually think there's something to that, if what I just said, if you followed me. Moving on. Brian says, I'm really debating selling another project and make a move on a pony or koala, or should I go for a combo of gratitude, conviction, champagne? And Gary says VeeFriends will be number 1. Oh my gosh. 12 champagne frames make a case of champagne. He's having fun. The real question is, Gary V, how are you doing? He says, passionate to win for y'all. Is it still worth burning VCon tickets with all the hype around Series 2? Gary says, VCon tickets are going to be the biggest regret of this group by far. The art on VCon NFTs is downright insane. Very interesting. Eddie says, things got really, really expensive really, really quick. Gary said, not if you believed. Remember, book games is played forever. If you don't get on friends list or burn what you want, you have forever to play. Dream Bigger says, if you bought books, you could have gotten in at $360. If you had gotten ETH back when he told us you could have gotten a VeeFriend for $600. Uno cards were $25. Lots of stuff is dropping here. Stick around. It's worth it, in my opinion. That's fun. Gary said in all caps, this over everything. People speak about things in today's, but if you follow when I said them or did them, it's a very different story. Many here made their money with VeeFriends, which is accurate. New York Islander says, was Accountable Ant Series 2'd on a green card because it was evolving from an epic? Didn't say anything. Gary says, all evolving will have one card on design, so all ants will be green epic. Interesting. So it doesn't look like if you mint a core, it's coming out of a core card, but each evolving pose is paired with a card from Series 1. We'll see the V1 artwork on the card. accountable ant is green epic, but heart trooper could be core or rare or whatever. Regarding rare frames, for many reasons, long term, the spectacular of the 15 new characters are going to be money burns. Little Lachi says, but Series 1 is still better, right? Gary says, yes. But Series 2 is under $1,000 in April. Series 1 is over $40,000. Yeah, makes sense. Somebody said Jets suck, and Gary said you suck. I know we're going like step by step here. As I said, this is going to be a slightly different kind of podcast. That was only the first of 4 pages from Gary since I last checked in. So I appreciate your patience. I'm going to have a sip of water, and we're going to carry on. Gary replied to his "you suck" comment. I said, I only get nasty when it comes to the New York Jets, LOL. Said, I love you more. Asked about, does background matter for Series 2 or just frames? He said, you'll see. He's sports nasty, some banter here. Should I paper hands my pony and sweep the book games floor? And he says, no one knows. Do I have a chance on the 15 new characters with clear or silver frames? Is it first served, or how's it going to work? You'll see soon enough. I think maybe by the end of the week or next week. Tomorrow or Friday announcements? Neither. I have 11 book game tokens on 2 wallets, 9 and 2 on the other. Is it better odds if I combine, or doesn't matter? Gary reiterates it doesn't matter because your odds are your odds. Gary just said yes. I'm not sure which question he was answering here. Chat could have been moving very fast at this point. How much of a discount will the VCon Tick flash sale be compared to the straight flush 13 currently needed on the exchange? Gary says big. And I can't wait to get involved in book games and VeeFriends once I'm 18. Too bad I'm only 16. Gary said 16's fine. He came back. No, he just he came into the, what is this, the spec chat. Okay, very interesting. Comes, says hello to Specs, and can't believe we're getting a new 1 of 1. And Gary says it's an evolving pose and it's the spec. What the fuck? These will be more than you paid for V1. Wow. Specs V1 are wildly underpriced right now on OpenSea. There's another surprise in Series 2 for specs. It's insane they aren't selling out. The gold sympathetic squid on the floor. He said, well, dreams come true. P.S. I made a mistake. It's not evolving pose for specs. It's better. Very fun. Gary says again, day 1 was only 10 months ago. Comes back to general for Mason, who said, Gary, people told me I was a crazy MFer for dropping 14 ETH on a woke walrus. Now I'm laughing at them because V1 floor is 17. VF 1 of 1 is free mint. VCon ticket is an NFT. Sounds like smart money. Wade says, I was confused on the $800. Looks like $800 available, not $800. What's the context? And this is referring to the auction style. We'll see if we get more information about it as we go through. But there's 800 available of these, and it seems it's going to be a bidding war. What kind of Series 2 do you get if a Series 1 character gets retired? You get a random one. As I said, if you hold an access token, you'll still get an evolving exclusive Series 1 pose, but you'll get a random character. Only spec owners can buy, or anyone? And Gary says anyone tomorrow, including non-NFT holders. Literally anyone. It's USD. In fact, this auction tomorrow, Gary clarified, is international. So you don't have to be a holder, but there's only 800 of them. Gary says, I like the koala, but no one will be patient to 2025. If you want and need alpha, aka news, on 2025 Kino Koala before 2025, sell it. I've got nothing for you. Don't think he can be more clear. Just for context, Gary, I bought 672 books and still getting laughed at. Ask me if I care what they're saying. They'll all figure out sometime. Gary said, classic. Then Directive Creator said, how about the pony? To which Gary replied, even longer. The Paper Hands pony will be destroyed. Diamond Hands will be rewarded. Those those book game specials utility. That is a bit of a thing. Um, Somebody purchased the very rare Just Jackal a couple hours after he posted it in the Discord. He said it's very smart. He linked to book games. Um, a little bit of chit chat here. Please load my messages, Discord. Hold on, it's not giving me the reply to what does this message say? I can't tell. Is tomorrow a race or plenty of time to bid? Plenty of time tomorrow. I'm surprised people are overlooking gratitude and conviction. Yep. I wonder, it's going to be interesting when I come back. I haven't been on my computer for about 6 hours, and I didn't want to be too hasty on book games at these prices, but I'll be very curious as I was looking at gratitude today if those rarer frames have moved. Mostly sharing with that you as we update. I might go into book games in the next segment. What are your top 5 picks on or around the floor? Gary says, I think V1 is wild right now. Don't think people understand how big the evolving pose is. He's been really saying that a lot. So I can't say I understand it, but it's clearly important to Gary. Gary, you see that Robert Mondavi NFT is going for half what people paid for them? Are you grabbing? $3,400 mint and kids selling for 0.65 ETH. Crazy. Gary says he's buying soon. Series 2 comes out in April. Talking about the candy drop. Oh no. Somebody sold a emerald frame for too low with a fat figure error. Gary says there's nothing I can do. Web3 is decentralized. He drops a hint for Jalen, who's a basketball player represented by Vayner NFT that dropped in the Sweet Futures collection for candy today. And he says Jalen is going to be a fucking star. And at that price, what? Also, the other two. Do you guys and gals know college basketball? So there's a $20 NFT. I wonder, it may have sold out based on this pump. We'll have to check it out a little later. Tomorrow's announcement is a special opportunity. He says BF2 will be insane. This is interesting. VCon or Red Devil? Gary says Red Devil is the one from Series 2. It's the Black Cat. It will be much more money to burn for than VCon. So much more than 5 frames. I picked up a rare frame from the marketplace for $158. Wow, very nice. Good job. Gold observant oyster or hollow respectful raccoon? Gary says hollow and move. People with deep pockets are confused by the spec Series 1 floor. All right, coming to the end, the last page of replies for tonight. Asked about if this person should sell their one of one dino, and he says not sure. BF is going to be number 1. Teasing tomorrow, USD for tomorrow. So worth really going all in on for them, like sell cores and trade up good. Interesting. So referring to spectaculars, Danny asking if it's worth selling cores to trade up, and Gary says yes. Somebody complaining about wasting money on the baseball. He's being ironic. He says, did I just waste $20 on Jalen basketball NFT because Gary V is my god? And Gary V said, waste or win in 3 years when he is an all-star. Can I still get tokens if I buy books? Nope, no, that opportunity is gone. No, people asking questions they don't know answers to. Should I sell 5 silver and 3 clears to get 5 rainbows? This is a fantastic answer. So Tiger comes in. Should I sell 5 silvers and 3 clears to get 5 rainbows or emeralds? Basically, should I trade 1 set and 3 tokens from two different frames into 1 set of 5 rarer frames? And Gary's answer in all capital letters is nah, chill. NAH, nah, chill, which I kind of love because, like, again, we've been saying from the beginning, all this is really exciting. Play the game if you can, spend money you can afford to lose. But the simplest and therefore the best strategy for book games is just simply to hold. Don't concern yourself with the burn. Don't concern yourself with the hype. Just hold on to it. Take the liquidity if you need it, the diamond hands, the conviction for the forever of this project is designed to reward you. Gary says the best part of the day is the floor of the VeeFriends 1 and the floor of VeeFriends 1 specs didn't move enough. So much opportunity. But again, I am being underestimated. Wait till the spec holders realize in the blog post I mentioned another surprise, which is true and interesting. He's asked about another project. He says, I can't look at other projects. Series 2 will destroy all. Surprise is only for specs. Yes. Sell a core and a rare for a spec. Gary says yes. Sell my core to get a spec, quail or numbat. Yes. Look at the specs data. Sometimes 30 to 34 floor, but 10 to 20 away from 100 ETH floor. Specs are impossible to get here. Link to the Trunculent T-Rex. Reiterated that tomorrow's opportunity is for 800 people, not $800. Listed another mistake. Gary replying to someone who says, we can't afford it. Some can. Respect if you can't. It's why I did book games 240 and you got 12 books. I love that Gary just picks arbitrary ones and says they will regret it, and you all gobble them up without thinking. Royalty machine on. Gary says, it's more that I will be right. Again, people asking Gary, should they trade as a combination of tokens to get a spec? And he's hyper bullish on it. Says yes again. What do you think about what do you think of instant gratification monkey as a character? And Gary says all capitals. He hates it. And last but not least, Sal DeGuardia, our good friend, says, save $1,000 for V2, my friend. You have 3 weeks to start flipping garage sale finds. And Gary comments this. And he tuned out at 10:30 p.m. tonight. Wow, a 23-minute rundown of Gary's messages. So it takes me a little less time when I'm not reading them out loud, but you just got a sneak peek at what I do every day before I come live for you. I just process it and reiterate it in a way that is a little more concise. I appreciate you going on that ride with me. Hope that was fun or insightful. I know it was a bit of a fire hose. So let's land the plane in a highly concise and effective way. I'm gonna give myself a breath, and then I'm gonna close out the podcast. Whew. Let me check Twitch really quick. I've got this spammer on Twitch. Go away. Jesus Christ. Happy to see the folks that are here. Thank you. Let me check your comments really quick. What if specs get the OGV1 looking version of the new 15 characters? That would be cool, but that's not what's happening. I understand it's very hard to say right now, but any thoughts on a price prediction for Series 2, specifically the specs? Not a fucking clue. No, could be 10 ETH. It could be 2. Wood-framed lava book games in sets of 5 will most likely prove to be a good move. Josh, do you know something that I don't know? Gary has said in Discord in the past less than 20 would be enough for a VF2. I hope this is still true. It is true, Christian. Five tokens is enough for a Series 2. And there's multiple ways to get it. I would have to have a spreadsheet of everyone's book game so we know who was actually chosen. No, that's not going to be the case. So, hey, podcast, we're going to do a little bit of piecemeal as we have good questions. So you are not going to need to verify the token ID or go through your book games to manually check if you got a friends list. The same way they had a book games checker back in December before the book games drop, they're going to have a friends list checker on the VeeFriends.com, only VeeFriends.com. It'll probably be VeeFriends.com/friends-checker. Just guessing. You'll connect your wallet. and it will give you an output of the number of slots that you got. Actually, Max the Miata put out a fantastic graphic on Instagram that I want to share with you really quick. It breaks down based on the number of tokens that you are holding, what your percentage chance of getting one Series 2 mint is. And it's important to look at these numbers because it's not cumulative. It's not 26 for one and 52 for two, because each token is a 1 in 4 chance. So for a little numbers, stick with me. One token is 26. We know this. Two tokens is 45%, about a coin flip. Three tokens is 59. Five tokens is 77. So if you're going for a set and you're compiling 5 matching frames, you have a 3 in 4 chance of getting one mint spot. You could get 5. I think more likely you'll get, there's like there's not quite a 50% chance you'll get 2. People holding 5, trying to burn for the new characters, the probability is they will get 1. There's a relative chance they'll get 2. People who are really lucky will get 3 or more. And it goes up from there. And the percentage increase for every token you add actually gets less as you add more tokens. By the time you get to 10 tokens, you have a 95% chance, but there's still that 1 in 20 chance that you don't get any spots. At 20 tokens, it becomes a bit more certain. It's like 99.7% chance. So it would be kind of astronomical if you had 20 or more tokens and you didn't get at least one spot. But I think the most relevant numbers here are 1 and 2. So 26% for 1, 45% for 2. And if you're collecting 5 tokens, you have 77%. I have to check the math on this. These numbers are accurate, but I'm not sure what happens if you're calculating for multiple mints. This is just for 1. So I think you can just divide by the number. Like the chance of 2 for 5 mints is whatever, 35 or 36. The chance for 3 is 20, whatever. The chance for 7 mints, well, I guess that's impossible. You only have 5 chances, but anyway, that's that. Yes, the 15 new characters were not released as Series 1. This people could mint their Series 2, but if any book game holders won too many friends list spots, other members of the DAO could use those spots instead of them being lost. Yeah, I think there will be people who are trying to sell spots off chain. Yes, and Josh is right. You can burn any 7 frames. That's the same as burning 5 of the same frame. Any pre-work or pre-registration we're supposed to do to make sure we become a part of Series 2? Nope. You just need to hold book game tokens. Josh is answering questions. Much appreciation for you, my man. Appreciate you too. Love you, Oscar. Good to see you. I know it's hard to say, but any thoughts on Series 2 price predictions? No, I have no real, especially the specs. I answered that. Like, I have no idea. It could be 2. It could be 10. What is your favorite spec? Hollow. I think Hollow. Hollow or Diamond. Can you still be on the Friends Pass if you have just 1 book games token? Yes. Yes, you can. You'll have a 26% chance of getting on. What would you do if the only token you hold is a Hollow Patience Wood? I would do nothing. I would just hold on to it. I would sit pretty and enjoy the ride. VF1 holders non-spec will get a VF2 right, still special one. Yep, absolutely. So we got a couple more great questions here. Just going to rattle them off. Can you still be on the Friends Pass if you have 1 book game token? And the answer is yes. Actually, the language here is important. So the pre-sale for Series 2 is called the Friends List. The Friends Pass is a utility that is attached to each and every book game token. Each token is a Friends Pass, and this is the utility by which they run this raffle. So your 1 token gives you a 26% chance of your Friends Pass being selected for the Friends List, which is very cool. When asked what would you do if the only token you hold is a Hollow Patience Wood, my answer is I would sit pretty and enjoy the ride. 1 token will not be enough to burn for anything at this time, but it does give you that 26% chance, and you never know what kind of special thing may happen with it. You may find a moment where Gary encourages others to burn several of that token and the market moves. You may be able to turn that token into more if you are patient, especially the patience character. Beyond lava patience, which everyone wants to know the answer to, is highly underestimated, along with all book games, which is a broad statement that I'm saying in the context of the Epiphany, which I have yet to share with you, which I will share with you before we close. VF1 holders, non-spec, will get a Series 2, right? Still a special one? And the answer is yes. Every single Series 1 holder will get a 9-month window. They'll have until December 31st to claim their free token. The token you claim will be the same as the Series 1 you're holding, unless you're an access token, in which you'll get a random character from the existing 235 admission characters. Each of those mints, 10,255, which are reserved for Series 1 holders, will be in the special evolved pose that no one else can mint. How will you go about buying the Series 2? I mean, the Friends Pass will help with the gas price, right? Yes. The Friends Pass helps with the gas price because you have, if you get the pre-sale, a 12.5 day to mint the Series 2 tokens, meaning you can wait until gas is at an agreeable rate and pay whatever it might be. It might be $15, $50, probably less than $100 when there's no rush to mint. And the process will be relatively simple. The wallet that you're holding your book games in will be authorized to mint during that 12.5 day period. You don't need to hold on to the token at that point. You can sell it or have burnt it or do whatever you want with it. So long as you were holding book games on April 5th in the afternoon, snapshot is happening from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time, your wallet will be assigned these mints. You connect to the friends list checker to check how many you have. Then you'll go to VeeFriends.com, connect to the site, and you'll be able to mint however many number of Series 2 tokens as you are allowed. One variable that we don't know in this sense is if you can mint in the pre-sale through multiple interactions. For example, if you have 2 friends list spots, do you have to mint both of them at once, or can you mint one in one transaction and then mint one at another time? This much we do not yet know. If you 100% can't go to VCon, but jump in on Thursday's sale, can you lend the VCon pass to someone whilst keeping the NFT? I would prefer someone went to VCon in my place. This is a fantastic question and one that many in the community are looking to an answer for. So let me give you my best understanding at this point. So we know that VCon tickets are an NFT. We know they're airdropping. Actually, they could be airdrop, they could be claim. We don't know yet. But they will be available to Series 1 holders in April, most likely. Gary said very soon. Maybe they'll push them out sooner. Like if burn sale is Thursday, we could see them as early as a week or two from now. But all that aside, the access to VCon is approved by connecting the wallet that holds the VCon NFT to a mobile app, the VCon ticketing app, that people will be able to download on their phones and activate a ticket for. So many people would like to hold on to their NFT, but provide the access or even sell the access. We don't know if this is going to for sure be available, but one potentiality would be you hold the NFT and they release this VCon ticketing app. The person you're selling it to downloads that app and creates an account in which they can provide you a temporary login for that account where you sign into that account on your phone or desktop that is connected to your wallet with a VCon ticket, sign into the VCon ticketing app on their behalf, connect your wallet on their behalf, authorize a VCon ticket for their profile on their behalf, and you still have the ticket in your wallet and they can change their username and password so that you can't compromise them or whatever. The only loophole I see here, And I don't know if they'll provide a more secure system for this, or even if this possibility will be available. But the problem I see here is it's fine for this person who's lending the VCon access to no longer have access to the other person's account. But what is to stop them from authorizing a VCon ticket on other people's accounts beyond just yours afterwards? So you could pay them in ETH. They could sign into your account and verify your ticket, but they still have domain over the NFT. So what's to stop them from pulling it out of your account and giving it to another and defrauding people? So this is a little bit more complicated than I can say for the moment, but there will be an NFT, there will be a ticketing app, and I'm sure they will provide as many options as they can as things roll out. Sophia asks, can you kindly give your advice to the newcomers fresh? This is a deep dive question. I think it's a good time to come back to a podcast dedicated to just this. But in this moment, like, my number one advice to you would just to be slow and steady. Just slow and steady. It's better to learn with $10 or $100 a week or a month and slowly start to accumulate cryptocurrency and learn and spend time understanding what you're getting into than to see an opportunity where a lot of people are making money and throw thousands of dollars at it in hopes that it keeps going up. There is a lot of aspects to this realm that we all have a shared vocabulary in. It's easy to forget that it wasn't very long ago that we were learning these things for the first time. There is a lot of foundational things that you should spend time on for the course of 20 to 50 hours before you make a decision, if you have the capacity and the financial freedom or flexibility to participate. So my number one advice to you would be slow and steady. Sarah asks, why did he say USD for tomorrow? What's tomorrow? And this is a great question. So it's the big 3 week. And the second announcement comes tomorrow. We're regarding Tuesday, March the 8th. Not sure yet what time, but it seems like VeeFriends loves their early afternoon announcements. There is some kind of product, could be a service. I'm anticipating a product that they have made 800 editions of. We don't know what it is yet, but there will be a long auction process. He said it's not very time sensitive, in which people will have to bid against each other in order to get it. It's limited to 800, and so I guess they'll go to the 800 highest bidders. Not a lot of information on this right now, but what we know is it's not holder specific. It's open to anybody, whether you have book games or not, or anything. And the purchase currency will be US dollars. Yes, the auction is tomorrow. Aussie wants to know, should I sell a neon set for 3 gratitudes? And, obviously not financial advice and all the rest. I'm going to go ahead and say, if I had a set of neon, I would not be selling them for 3 gratitudes in this moment. I would rather have 15 passes for Series 2. And I don't know what that comes out to in odds, but you're looking at 80 to 90% chance of having a mint. The 3 gratitudes is a very powerful asset, but I don't think it's the best hand to be holding. Like, in terms of the cards in your hand, you got to know what game you're playing. And right now the game is Series 2, and we may not see a game so opportune as Series 2 for a long time. Depends. You're very welcome, Christian. You're very welcome, Sophia. And you're very welcome, Sarah. We are through the questions, and I am happy to bring this podcast to a close. We certainly will have a vibrant weekly recap at some point. It's late here, but I'm going to do my best to get daily podcasts out to you in these twilight hours, because it's a big week. It's an exciting time, and I just know there are a lot of questions. So I can't promise like a certainty of what time I can go on Twitter Spaces, but I will do my best to get you a nightly podcast, so I can say good morning at the start of the show, and it's actually morning. This one is much longer, probably close to an hour now, but I'll do my best to be more concise going forward. And so I think I can share this epiphany I had, and maybe I've built it up too much, or maybe it's too profound or not profound, or maybe it's just trolling. But it's not meant to be that. It's a distinction between, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the epiphany that I had, in the simplest terms, is that book games are forever. I don't know if you're giggling or sort of are having as much joy in that idea as I am. But it's interesting. It happened just before the Series 2 reveal today. And it really was an epiphany. Like I perceived the idea of book games forever in a very different way. And I don't want to drown on about why it felt profound in that moment. And that might not be very helpful for you in your strategy, but it's actually a very powerful realization. I've been saying recently that, like, for founders, it's their job to work toward a long-term sustainability. Recently Gary was saying he's working towards things for success in year 7. He said, I can't wait to see you in 2049. Beyond like the hyperbole of 45 years at long term, founders really have to look forward. They have to plan ahead. They have to lay the foundation when most collectors and people who are trading are looking for the furnishing and the decor. And these things are flashy, but they take time. And I think it was a combination of selling a couple book games last night, making 1.75 ETH, which is a lot of money, more money than I started this whole journey with, overnight, and having it in my layer 2 token trove, and realizing that if I hit sign on an emerald at 0.5 or a neon at 0.7, that I'm not going to be asked to confirm the gas, and that transaction can happen really fast. $1,500 can go away really fast on token trove. And I didn't know what was going to happen next, and I didn't know what was best. And that's a symptom of where we are in the game. Everything is misunderstood right now. Things can change very quickly, as they have, and they will. And I accepted the fact that if I needed an emerald set, that I would be willing to pay a premium for a sense of certainty that it was going to unlock the thing that I wanted. I'm still really determining, I think, I want the clown. I'd love to go for the red devil. I don't know how accessible it will be to me. But I accepted that sometimes observing is an important, like, educational experience. I said I didn't want to drown on. I'm drowning on a bit. To like acknowledge that book games are forever gave me a really interesting sense. And it was in the midst of having that liquidity in my wallet and also having spectacular FOMO and being like, oh, big thing is coming for specs. Oh, what's it going to be? Oh, I had a moment where I could have traded 2 cores for a spec. Oh, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I sell the high? But I don't have to have a spec before Series 2. I have 45 years to get into a spec, and so do you. And that may not be glamorous. That may not pay off your student loans next year. There's a lot of impressive financial things that have happened to many people, and I'm glad for everybody who's winning. But for everybody who's winning, there's a lot of people who are also losing. And it's when, at least speaking for myself, when I've tried to move too fast, that I've found myself over trading and ultimately not profiting as well as if I had just been patient, literally just been patient and trusted in the projects that I believed in. So my book games epiphany, whether it was overhyped or not, is very simple. Book games are forever. And we're just getting started. Thank you all. This has been a wistful and windy tour of not just the updates, but the feel, the feel of a big, spectacular announcement. March 7th for VeeFriends Series 1 holders regarding Series 2 on the Jeremy Knows podcast. Lots more. Looking forward to it. I'm your host, Jeremy, the Heart Trooper number 7. Can't wait to tell you about why my voice is so raspy in this book games trade I've got in the works. But I really do believe when Gary says book games are underestimated and misunderstood. And if and when I can close this deal, I'll tell you why. Thanks as always for listening. Go out, breathe, drink water, crush it, do something that makes you feel good. Hope you're happy with this announcement. Please feel free to let me know on Twitter, Jeremy Knows VF, or anywhere else. It's a little slower on Instagram these days, but you can get me in the direct messages. If you listened all the way through this podcast, you're an absolute champion. Would love for you to leave a review. We're on Apple Podcasts. You can leave a little review, and you can support the content I make at the tip jar that's linked in the comments. I'll also link the announcement, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. That was a show. Would I flip 6 silver, including 1 lava patience for 5 galaxy or rainbow? I don't know. I think I would chill, bro. I know you want to get the new characters, but the lava patience might help you. I don't know. Here's the thing. Altumi, that might be a good move, but it's what I was just saying. Like, I would rather make that move and pay a little extra to know than find out it wasn't the right move and have to shift again. I don't think any new book tokens will be created, but it'll be interesting. I think book games drop after the snap. Yeah, that's probably going to happen. I'll hold my Hall of Patience, but I also want to increase my chances to get a new character and get the friends list. Should I just get a new token from the floor and flip my way to 4 more wood frames? Yes, if you can do that, absolutely. I do sleep. I tend to sleep in to about 9 or 10. Thanks, bud. Thanks for being around. Good morning, Marshawn, John. Good stuff. Let me check Twitch. Okay, I need to post this podcast and get to bed. Nice. 1 hour and 3 minutes. Thank you, bud. I know it was a little underwhelming, the epiphany. What was your take on the epiphany? Was it underwhelming? Because I think that the context of it is actually very important. JK, episode 148. VeeFriends. There is there is still quite a lot that I actually didn't talk about that I thought would come up organically, and some of it did, and some of it didn't. Anchor got a little upgrade. Interesting. Um, Publish Twitter. All right, and it's out. Forever is forever. A lot of epiphanies are around simple things. Yeah, very very nicely said, Josh. There's no way they can all be burned. It will never happen. I don't think it'll ever happen. Not before Gary dies. Just my 2 cents. It's possible, but I doubt it. Good night, you guys. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you later. Bye, train. Bye,